What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Nullus. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is HellsRavage. The map is Midgard, and we are currently participating in yet another Shoutcast Sunday, where somehow, some way, we are simply having top-level games played back to back to back to back. Now, we are on the Midgard map, and I'm here, ready to see. Oh, no. Wait, hold on. It would be this corner. You take the corner of your town center that is closest to the shore, and you follow it out, and you will find yourself fish. This happens like this. If you go this way, you have managed to find fish as well, it seems. So Hell's completely fine here. He's going to be looking for a second dock, it seems, but he's going on the same side of the map. And I think the more we learn about Midgard spawns is you want one dock on this location and you want one dock on this location. And then after then you can throw docks down elsewhere. But we'll see how it's going to go for HellsRavage nonetheless. Meanwhile, if we take a look at Nullus's base, again, it looks like I might be a little bit wrong here, because he's got the corner closest to the edge of the map is just simply a perch. Whereas if you go straight down this way, you actually get to the water and you're fine. Who knows? I think maybe you just have to go to the closest shore point. Normally it's not. Normally it's from the corner. But hey, what can you do? Alrighty. So, Zeus versus Ra on Midgard. The thing that I like about Midgard, especially at the top level, is that the strategies that you can actually employ, there are a myriad of strategies, and they are all very, very strong, and it is a very reactionary-based map. So, strategies you can do. Strategy number one, and I'm just going to talk from Zeus' perspective here, because I think Zeus is the best at has the most variety of strategies that are actually really good. So strategy number one, and they all stem from this build order, 18 fish. If you don't do 18 fish, the build is going to be suffering in one way or another against anything your opponent can do 18 fish-wise. Just want to preface it with that. So every build should be advancing at 515 is the main goal here for Zeus. So build number one would be an incredibly hyper-accelerated Athena rush where you can drop down 3 or 4 military academies, or you can get yourself out Minotaur plus Hoplite with a couple of them and make Toxotis as well. That's strategy number one, very strong. Strategy number two is a Hoplite trireme push. So you push one side with your trireme by putting docks up close to your opponent, barracks down, you take down their docks, and you take down their fish. It's actually a really good way to punish somebody who's going for the third strategy, which is a semi-fast heroic with trireme, basically. So you can go for a semi-fast heroic with trireme as well to get something like an 8:30 to 9-minute heroic age. And these strategies apply to every single civilization. It's just whether or not they are relatively good or not is the kind of way forward. So Ra can definitely do a all-in on land. So if you're playing Ra, you can actually do a Spearman. If you're on EE, maybe make Kopesh. You can make Spearman Villager Rush on the land with Shifting Sands. It's a completely viable strategy and can catch your opponent off guard and take them out, especially if they are Norse or Atlantean. It can be very, very strong. You can do fast. You can actually do a fast heroic with Ra as well, which I think not many people think about. You can actually do that. It's very strong, but normally we just go for a couple cabinets to make sure we can defend as a semi-fast heroic. Doing the kind of hybrid spearman cabinet push doesn't really work. Unless you're going to Shifting Sands villages behind it as well to take down the docks, which seems like a bit committal. So that one doesn't too much work with Ra. Anyways, what we're seeing right now is Athena coming through for Nullus, and we are seeing Hells going through Tar. So a bit of a late Tar here from Hells. He's got himself 13 fishing ship, which is obviously not enough. He's going to have to get a couple more out if he wants to keep up with Nullus, who is currently 18 fishing ship. He's got himself his 3 docks, as he's getting a dock over on this location as well. Very, very nice. And he's going to be able to get himself out per scene. Very well played here. This is the 5:15 in advance with just a little bit of idle town center time. So not as clean as he would have liked, but completely fine. And he will be getting himself that per scene very, very early here. We don't see any attempt at a military academy anywhere on the map just yet. So not going for any sort of early rush or anything like that. As it seems like, I think Hells thinks that maybe he's been just a little bit fish screwed, but he's got the extra fish that he needs along this side of the map, which is definitely fine. We do see a second town center actually coming up for Hells, which is a strategy I didn't talk about because I actually don't think this strategy is very good. So we see a fast second town center from Hells, one of the only ones that I think is not great on Midgard, and we'll see if Nullus is going to be able to punish this. Nullus can do literally anything he wants now. I think the best play by Nullus is going to be to go straight to the Mythic Age and just enjoy all of the early pressure he can put onto the opponent with the trireme. He's got the advantage on the fish as well. Now it's actually got 20 fishing ships. Just put a whole bunch of villages over onto gold, go straight to the Mythic Age, hit an underworld timing with Heliopoli, Colossus, and the works, and just live the dream there while your opponent is spamming out all his economy, not being able to deal with your supreme tech. So now we see Hells doing his darndest to hold on to the water here, and he is doing a good job thus far, but he will probably lose the water to some Skylar that are going to come through at about, I think Nullus has maybe not got enough villages on gold. Yeah, I think he's maybe put too many onto wood here. So he's got 16 on wood. So if you are going, this is more of a full flood of trireme. Normally you just leave about 11 villages on wood and you put the rest onto gold. You can see how Nullus has got 900 food right now and not enough gold to do anything with it. And that's kind of why you want to do that. Just means you've got a whole bunch of kind of useless resources in the bank. And we'll see how this is going to go as Hells does manage to defend on this side. And Nullus is seeing all of this fish not being grabbed, so he might actually realize how much of an advantage he's got. And you do see that huge advantage there in terms of score, as Hells has got next to no food in the bank, trying to spam out villages from 2 town centers here with only 13 fishing food villages right now. Lots of villages on wood. We see some villagers jumping onto this mining camp that's at the back here. The trireme still doing very nicely against the Kebnets. They do have equal stats except for the extra range the trireme has. So they can actually fight one-to-one fairly nicely in a defensive position here. But Nullus is controlling this one very nicely as this game is continuing. Hells pulling back here, going to sit underneath this dock, going to be happy to fight there. Nice play. You see some fishing ship getting taken down as Nullus is starting to make his way up onto this location here onto the gold situation he needs. One thing I do prefer here is to actually get Shaft Mine as well, even with Greek. Shaft Mine not the best upgrade for the Greeks because it only gives like 0.75 or 7.5% increased gather rate. It's still going to help you get that extra gold. And we see Nullus just about ready to advance. We see a big restoration coming in as it's looking like Nullus is going to be able to push through the majority of this water here of HellsRavage. But it is looking like Hells is actually able to hold big defense here from Hells as Nullus is going to be able to click up. Does he have his armory up? It's just about to pop, and we will be seeing the Odysseus coming through, Dionysus coming through. I wanted to see him cancel that villager 100%. And we'll see if he's going to decide to stick in the heroic age. Going to stick in the heroic age is actually not a bad idea. Getting out Thracian horses and Spirited Charge full Hippocon here. Very viable. Can put the pressure on everywhere on all these gold mines. Very tough for a classical age or even heroic age with bad economy to deal with that one. So do see Shaft Mine coming through as well, and Dionysus is now on the way. So the cabinet getting very spicy, very aggressive, and we do see Nullus has got 39 favor in the bank as well, so that's enough to make a couple of those Skylar, and he is going for this town center. So this indicates to me that Nullus is actually wanting to go for is actually wanting to go for stables here on the land in the heroic age. That's what this means to me. But he might also say, I'm going to go to the heroic age anyways. So there's, you never know with these players, these top players. Things that make sense to me don't make sense to them, and that's because I'm not that good at the game apparently. Anyways, he's Athena, so no Spirit of Charge. Okay, so maybe, well, I guess Thracian Horses is still good, but without Spirit of Charge, it's less good. I get confused because I just always think that you go Hermes, but sometimes Athena. Sometimes Athena. So town center's up. Lots of resources in the bank here. We see arrow ship cladding coming through for Nullus, which is definitely very helpful here in these fights. So he is going to continue going on water. I don't see any immediate spending of favor from Nullus. He's got a lot of food in the bank. And no... He's getting a stable down. Villagers finishing up on the gold. No market just yet because he doesn't have the resources for it. No, and he's getting Salt Amphora as well. So he's going to have so much economy here. And this... Oh, send the Hydra here. You know it's here. Send the Hydra here. This is 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads. You could have 4 heads here. On the Hydra already. So we are seeing the Hydra going to start moving in and start attacking these villages, which might get him some heads, but just imagine 4 heads. You can actually one-hit these villages with 4 heads, but no. Because that's 2 hits. That was 3 heads. That would be that much damage. We do see a rain getting cast by Hells to prevent any sort of bronze here, but with heavy trireme. Look how much bonus HP they've got. 348 HP, 6.6 damage. Big advantage here trying to push forward. We do see the heroic fleet has come out, but I don't think that Nullus has got any plan to make those those Scarlet. We see Thracian Horses coming in, so we are going to be seeing this mass Hippocon kind of strategy. Bowsaw Quarry coming through for Nullus as well. The rain with all the farms is down for Hell, so he's going to attempt to get to the heroic age now. He does have his armory down as these trireme getting the damage done. The Hydra here going after kill off the caribou first and then kill the dock. Just saying. You do more damage. No, going to go back after this. You've got the Odysseus and Jason here ready to take down the Wadjet, as we do see Hathor is incoming. Heavy cavalry coming through for Nullus as well. Still no 3rd town center, which would probably make sense with this build. The heavy trireme of Nullus still trying to push through as Hell's doing his darnest to hold on here, but he doesn't have the strongest ships. He doesn't have the Greek ships either, so he doesn't have the range. There's no real way for him to hold here against arrow ship cladding, and we do see the Hydra sadly falling here with 1 head. After all of that, the heavy Hippocon are going to come in and get so much damage done. He's even got copper shields and copper weapons. So we see multiple barracks getting thrown down. But even if medium spear, even if heavy spearmen start popping out for Hells, he's going to find himself in a very difficult position dealing with these heavy Hippocon, these heavy Thracian Horse Hippocon. 217 HP right now. With champion Hippocon, up to 250 HP. Can be absolutely huge. You see a big shifting sands here from Hells as he's desperately trying to hold on. The only real way to hold against these cavalry is to get crenellations and throw towers down. All the barracks are coming in. The back town center gets grabbed. I would like to actually see the forward town center get grabbed. So we do see these Hippocon checking out this gold mine that has been spotted by the Katoskopos as these villagers will start to go down. You're going to see an attempt to turn around and fight this, but there's no way those villagers beat these Hippocon. They are basically, if you're aware of knights in Age of Empires 2 or Age of Empires 4, they are essentially the strength of knights against these villagers, and they just don't die. One heavy Thracian horse Hippocon survives for days against villagers here. As we're seeing the villagers actually turn around and fight this, but still a couple of villager kills will end up happening here as well. As Copper Mail was also coming through for Nullus, fortified town centers as well as 145 population. All the trireme have kind of expired here for Nullus as he is putting all of the pressure on to HellsRavage right now. And he might even think about getting 4 town centers here. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. Going to Mythic Age is generally going to help you out a lot more. You can definitely go Hera here just to make sure you clean everything up. We've got the medium spearmen coming through, but like I said, not going to be much help at all as we've got a forward fortress now coming down. Nullus wants to start getting himself some Petropolis here to take down this town center. Start making those be in a fantastic position. Bronze getting thrown down on this location. There's only 10 bronze Typicon here, but look at them. 43% hack armor, 52% pierce armor. They're going to live for days as these spearmen do next to no damage to them. You see an attempted market from Hells. Hells is 96 of 130 population. Nullus is 156 of 160 population. He is starting to get some raids coming in. We do see a Locust coming in here. 2 villager kills is all that he's going to get with that Locust. Not what he wanted to see from that one at all, as these Hippocon are going to return back onto this gold mine, taking more damage down. And in the end, Hells does end up tapping out. GG, well played by Nullus here, showing off how getting to that heroic age is so important. I think that some of the ordering is just not quite in the right order here from Nullus, and he could have hit these timings so much nicer if he did some slight different tweaks. But what he did is essentially he did the 18 fish, and you can do whatever you want after the 18 fish. It's going to be really strong. And he managed to make it all work here. And Hells, even right now, is saying, I don't know how you afforded all this. He was struggling. Now, the reason here why Hells is struggling is 13 fishing ships means he was 5 fishing ships behind. He did have purse scene, but 5 fishing ships behind is a big, big problem. Went for an early second town center, which means you don't have the gold to get to the heroic age. Very big problem there. And how many docks did he actually throw up? I think he's got a lot of docks here. There's a lot of gold spent on docks here. I think these might have gone up a little bit late, but that's just desperation there. And that's the big reason here. This town center definitely falls victim to the 18 fishing ship start. I don't think that this is ever going to work. You got to find a different way to play this map. Otherwise, you're just kind of falling into what is technically meta here on this map. GG, well played by Nullus, showcasing off Zeus here. Very, very strong. Well played.